I can still hear his laughter echoing in my mind, that proud, bright laugh when he said, "Dad, Mom sent me cookies." He smiled like it meant something, like it could make up for the weeks she hadn't called, hadn't reached out. The box sat on the kitchen table, open and inviting, pink tissue paper folded neatly inside. He offered me one of the cookies, chocolate chip, his favorite. I looked closer. The edges were too perfect, the chips too evenly scattered. I'd seen this exact batch before, not made by her hands, but from a boutique bakery, one I had actually bought from once for her. My gut tightened with unease. Something was off. "Did you already eat one?" I asked quietly. He nodded, crumbs dusting his lips. I froze. Then I noticed it. Tiny blue specks embedded in the dough. Not chocolate, not sugar. "Spit it out. Right now." He choked, startled, coughing violently. I grabbed him, grabbed my keys, and ran to the car. No shoes, no jacket, just pure panic. By the time we reached the hospital, it was already too late. At the funeral, she didn't cry. Tears don't come easy to people who wear faces like masks. She stood at the back, dressed in black, playing the part. Fake grief, no tremble in her voice, no real pain behind her eyes. They ruled it an accident. Traces of diphenhydramine, an over-the-counter drug, technically enough to cause a child to seize. No return address on the box. No fingerprints, but ours. She sent him cookies and a casket. 3 years before that day, I was in love. Not the kind of love you see in movies, but the kind you fight for. The kind that survives layoffs, colic, mortgage stress. The kind that bends, bleeds, rebuilds. Or so I thought. She said she needed space. Said she was unhappy. Said I worked too much. That I wasn't present. I let her go. We shared custody. I took him to school, packed his lunches, read him bedtime stories. She posted pictures, smiling for strangers online. I didn't dig deeper. I didn't want to be the jealous ex. But silence gives liars room to grow bold. It started small. He mentioned new people, a friend who visited often, a man who picked him up when she was busy. One day he said, "Uncle Mark drives Mom's car sometimes." I didn't know any Mark. Then I saw a charge on our joint credit card, $2 800 at a hotel in Napa. A reservation booked during my weekend with our son. She didn't even try to hide it, so I stopped playing fair. I gathered everything, receipts, phone records, GPS logs, photos. I hired a private investigator. 2 weeks later, he handed me a folder thick with pages detailing her double life, fraud, affairs, reckless behavior, and what looked like a fake prescription ring she was tangled in. I didn't confront her. I watched. I waited. I knew she'd come for more. Eventually, she always did. 6 months after our son's death, she filed a wrongful death suit against me. She claimed negligence, claimed I fed him the cookies, claimed she had warned him not to eat sugar. She said I was unfit, that grief had made me unstable, that she wanted full custody of his memory. That was her mistake. I filed my own suit, full custody of his estate, because the day before he died, he'd inherited $200,000 from my late father, money held in trust under my control. She didn't know. She thought it passed to her. Suddenly, she needed to prove I didn't deserve it, so she lied louder. And I let her. I leaked the evidence, not to the court, but to her employer. She worked at a pediatric clinic, the kind that doesn't tolerate shady prescriptions, especially for drugs with street value. She was gone within days. Next, I sent anonymous files to the IRS. Her side hustle wasn't just immoral, it was untaxed. Accounts were frozen. She called me, sobbing. I let it ring. At the custody hearing, I brought the PI, the documents, witnesses, even a social worker who noted our son's fear of her new boyfriend. Her lawyer didn't stand a chance. The judge looked at her like she was venom. No trust fund, no settlement, no sympathy. Just the cold silence of the courtroom as she was told to leave with nothing. She tried to rebuild, started a GoFundMe, claimed she was a victim, that her baby was taken by a broken system. I sent screenshots of her scams to the platform. The page was taken down within hours. I heard she couch surfed for a while, tried applying to clinics in other states, but her name was blacklisted. Eventually, she disappeared from public life. Good. Sometimes, late at night, I sit in his room. Nothing has been touched, not even the crayon drawings taped to the wall. People ask why I didn't go to the police sooner. I did, but they called it circumstantial. No proof. She sent the box, no DNA, no fingerprints. But the court of consequence runs deeper than any legal system. She thought she could use a child as a pawn, a paycheck, a shield. She didn't expect me to outthink her. She forgot who built the life she tried to steal. She forgot I don't raise my voice. I raise the ground beneath my enemies. Once, my son asked me if monsters were real. I told him, yes, but they were smiles. He believed me, and now so does she.